Hi, everybody. Good. So my name is Tobin, and I'm the Senior Brand Manager for Jameson. So what I'm going to take you through today is one section within our digital strategy, which is our rules of engagement and how we engage with our consumers on social platforms. But before I do that, I want to give you a really quick, understanding of what the Jameson brand stands for and what we want to achieve with it. And to do that, I'm going to introduce to you our Jameson brand manifesto, which is Cinemetu. So this is a brand new campaign that's just about to go live. You'll begin to see it in the next week or two. So here's a first peek of what it's going to look like.
I've heard it once said, there's a place that exists between space and time, where impossible shines and our fiercest fears go to die, where heart, body, soul, and mind feel free to fly high, to thrive. Never minding those winding roads that take us past shadows on journeys we have yet to go, no. See, this place unlocks doubt, brings us up mountain peaks and down city streets to meet fellow dreamers and friends. Hold hands, breathe deep, make mistakes, take risks, to dare, to love, to sift and sip and fail and drift. May we all see life a little more foolhardy, and we all speak our truth, know our worth, and remember why we're here. May we all find this place, and friends to meet, in lands we have yet to discover, under stars we have yet to explore. We'll raise a glass and a toast to this creed, to fear a bit less, and live a bit more.
So, Cinemetu, and I suppose the reason behind launching Cinemetu, and it's going to be a pretty important pillar within our digital strategy, is all around the Jameson brand growing so quickly on the back of an Irish whiskey boom at the moment. So globally, Jameson has reached a 6 million case equivalent sales target this year, which is huge. So the Irish whiskey category continues to boom. We've recruited many new consumers through Jameson Ginger and Lime, which I hope a couple of you guys have tasted before and enjoyed. So on the back of that, we have 37,000 new consumers into the brand. So now we need to actually, I suppose, communicate with those consumers and actually, I suppose, in some way, relate to them on a more emotional level. And that is what Cinemetu is going to achieve for us. So who are our consumers? Well, it's definitely not rocket science. This isn't what they've been paying me for, but they're basically, we call them lads. So what does LADS stand for, though, is what is key. So LADS isn't actually gender-driven. It actually is more attitudinal. And what it stands for is laid-back appreciators and down-to-earth socials. So what is key for us? Well, what we want to do is win with the lads. It is that simple. So how do we connect with them on an emotional level to drive advocacy and increase our sales, being the bottom line? Well, we know and understand that our lads are always on demand. So when it comes to food, film, music, and even your date for Valentine's night, it's all at the swipe of a smartphone. So it's really important to remember that. Content, the way lads consume content has changed dramatically, and how media is consumed is ever changing. So we need to keep up with that and make sure that we're always relevant. From a social perspective, again, social media is key to any brand trying to grow. And with Jameson, it is particularly really important for us. So what is our digital objective at Jameson? Well, it's to exist in social to provide our lads with shareable, engaging, and relevant storytelling. So what we need to do is listen, learn, and reward. So the 5 channels that we play in actively are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and then online through our website and our email database. One issue that Jameson does face as an alcohol brand within the Irish market is that we're under strict alcohol advertising codes. So we follow the copy clear we fall into the copy clear remit, where any assets or digital or content or anything that we create and push out, it needs to actually go through copy clear for approval. So what's important, and I suppose the commonalities between all of those 5 key areas, it's our rules of engagement. And this, I suppose, is what I want to take you guys through today. So it's all about getting the relationship right online. And the first step in that is all about trying to listen, because if you listen, you learn. So from, I suppose, a top consumer insight perspective, we know that the average hours per week that our lads, our strategic targets, spend online is 24 hours. 80% of our lads target or access the internet through a mobile or tablet. And then on average, we know that they spend 2 hours per day watching videos online. From a brand level, I suppose what's quite important for us, sorry, I don't know what's up with the color on that, but we use Sprinkler. So Sprinkler is our social listening tool. So this takes away from a top-level consumer insight and actually gives us, I suppose, down to what are people actually saying about our brand and what are they talking about. And what this is really important for us, what it really helps us do, is actually ascertain what cross-correlation we have with other brands. Is the message that we're pushing out landing? Are people understanding what we're trying to tell them? And are we getting the right social demographic talking about our brand? Rule 2 is quality content. So I tried to introduce this video in every presentation. I tagged my brother in this year's when it came out first and told people it was him, and he's still getting tagged back in videos when it comes around on its annual yearly thing, but it's very funny. So why is quality content so important? Well, as already mentioned, content is king, but engagement is queen, and neither of them will work individually. They both need to work together, and they both need to work hand in hand. You can have a content calendar that is full with 3 to 4 posts per day, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the engagement. So the content needs to be in quality to deliver the engagement. Video still reigns supreme, so that's online, and now we can take video offline through Facebook Live. So online, what we're seeing is that our consumers are much more engaged to any of our assets that are in video format that we push out. But not only that, we've also recently learned that they actually respond a lot more to videos with subtitles. So videos with subtitles are performing extremely well. From an offline perspective, the advantage to video through streaming is a huge advantage to us. We host events. So we have Bow Street Sessions, for example, which are small, intimate gigs that can fit about 250 people. But now with Facebook Live, it doesn't exclude any of our consumers because we can now stream the gigs through our Facebook page. Not only that, but user-generated content as well is becoming increasingly popular and important to us. If you look at anyone's Instagram page, and mine included, you would think I eat out for dinner every day and I'm on a holiday every second of the week. We all know it's not true. But user-generated content is a really, really important tool that a brand can use. So what we've done is, and this is new with our campaign, is we've created Cinemetti Spirits. So what we want to create on this, it's actually an unbranded Instagram page, but it is driven by Jameson. Here we want to create a community of like-minded people who celebrate what Cinemetti is and what it stands for. So we encourage advocates of the brand and followers to hashtag what they feel their Cinemetti moment is with hashtag Cinemetti, and then we'll repost it and highlight it on the page. And finally, it's about bringing that connection, online connection, or that human connection to an online audience. So for example, on a Monday or a Tuesday evening, we know it's not the peak time when people will be sitting in a bar ordering a Jameson. So what we want to do is we want to show that our followers that we're still relevant and we can still talk to them without actually having to have a drink in their hand. So we every Monday or Tuesday simulate a pub quiz, an online pub quiz where people can take part and enjoy. Third rule that we try to stand by is value exchange. So what do we mean by that? Well, we know from research that lads engage with brands that reward them for loyalty and engagement. So this is really simple. This can be from as simple as acknowledging that someone is speaking to you. So if it's liking a post, retweeting them, or answering or talking back. And it can go from that to actually allowing your followers to be the first to know on innovation. So for example, when we launched Jameson Caskmates, which was our new Jameson innovation, that our Facebook followers were the first to know. A step up from this again is a new innovation which we've just launched, which is our Jameson limited edition bottle. So every year we give the label over to an Irish artist and they take it and complete their interpretation of what Jameson means to them. This year Steve McCarthy took it, but what we also added to it is some NFC technology. And what this means is that people who actually purchase the bottle can tap, at the moment only Android, but there is a URL provided as well for Apple consumers. But you can tap your phone off the bottle, it'll direct you through to a competition, and the customer is rewarded by either instant prizes or the chance to win a bigger prize. Next, location, location, location. So this is extremely important. We use a tool which we are lucky to have access to, which is our DPM. So it's our data profile management system. So this allows us to segment out our strategic target by interests. This, again, location is key. So this is one of, I suppose, of the bad reputations that programmatic buying has. Often, programmatic was never as targeted as it could have been, and it just ended up being wasted. So it was actually quantity over quality. You were seeing all these impressions, but your engagement wasn't adding up. So with our new DPM tool, what we can do is actually serve relevant content to the correct people. So for example, if we know that a certain group of our consumers are interested in sport, we can serve them sports-related posts. If we know that they're interested in film, for example, we can serve them content related around film. So this is a huge advantage. Next up, it's be disruptive. It definitely works, as you can see. But it's not just about being disruptive, you need to also be relevant, and unfortunately, that's where he falls down. But get involved, we need to get involved, but be true to your brand. So, for example, what you're seeing on the screen is Jameson talking about the upcoming France and Ireland match. Relevant sport, relevant topic for our consumers and our lads. However, would Jameson post on global warming? Probably not. It's not relevant to the brand and it's not within the brand's tone of voice. However, would Innocent Smoothies post about global warming? Absolutely. What you need to be really key and cutthroat about is, from my opinion, not to just jump on any hashtag that's trending. We've seen this backfire recently with a lot of brands, from everything to marriage equality to pro-life. Just because something is trending doesn't mean that you should necessarily jump on it. Final part is KPIs. So this, for me, is one of the most important pieces. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with that slide as well. Again, there's, I suppose, 4 key areas here. The first one being setting out your objectives from the very start. So if it's a campaign or if it's a social channel, you need to be very clear from the get-go what those objectives are. Is it just basic awareness, or is it reach and engagement, or is it click-through rate? What exactly are you trying to achieve? Once you have those identified, then you need to make sure that you're targeting the correct people. So that comes back to the location point. So make sure that you're actually chasing the correct people. Mass connection and awareness is not always the right thing, depending on what your objectives are. If it's basic awareness you're after, then that's fine. However, if it's more engagement and a deeper level of connection, then it won't work. The great thing about digital, which out of home falls down on, is that with digital we can actually be reactive. So for example, with an out of home campaign, when it goes live, it's up for 2 weeks. You wait a month for your data to come back. You're not really sure if it connected or not. You're not really sure if it's driving your awareness scores. However, with digital, it's real-time data, so you should be set up and tracking everything properly. And it's not anything fancy. I have a simple Excel sheet that is updated every 3 days during a campaign, and we track exactly what engagement and what exposure we're getting. Then this allows you, and if you track it by assets, this then allows you to further optimize your spend. So for example, if you have a video format and a display format advert, both being pushed out and targeting the same people, the display ad is performing extremely well on impressions. However, the video is performing better on actual engagement. You need to then go back, check what was the main objective. It was engagement. Therefore, you can decide to move your spend from your display advert into your video, as it's the better performing asset. So that is one of the biggest advantages to digital display, is that you can optimize as you go. And finally, just be true to your tone of voice. So with Jameson, we always say that no matter what we post, we need to make sure that it's true to our tone of voice, and we never deviate from that. So that's it. Thank you very much.